Good afternoon, I'm Isha Bhargava and here are some of the stories we're following for Say News. The family of a murdered Toronto woman is being forced to go to court to convince Ontario's Office of the Chief Coroner that she is truly dead, even though her killers are serving a life sentence. This is because the body of Laura Babcock was never found. Dylan Millard and Mark Smith were convicted of murdering the 23-year-old in July 2012. Canada's Ethics Commissioner says Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has violated the Federal Conflict of Interest Act in the SNC-Lavalin scandal. In his report, the commissioner found Trudeau unlawfully tried to use his position to pressure former Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould into giving SNC-Lavalin a deferred prosecution agreement. Although he says he accepts responsibility, the PM says that he disagrees and refuses to apologize for his actions. There is a Canada-wide warrant issued for a Toronto man for a 2017 murder in Thunder Bay. Michael Cleghorn is alleged to have escaped from police on Tuesday after a woman was fatally shot in Mississauga around 2:30 p.m. CTV News obtained a surveillance video which appears to show an altercation between the victim and Cleghorn moments before gunfire. We'll have more on these and other stories on Say News later today. I'm Isha Bhargava. Have a great afternoon. Good afternoon, I'm Isha Bhargava. Toronto fans are hoping for the 6-6 tonight. The Raptors have their second chance of winning the NBA championship title against the Golden State Warriors. Police are searching for a gunman who shot a female in the head in the Jane and Finch area. The victim was rushed to Sunnybrook Hospital for treatment and is in serious condition. The shooting happened at about 10:15 p.m. near the corner of Grand Ravine and Arletta Avenues. Police arrived to find a woman suffering from gunshot wounds. They identified the alleged gunman as a black male in his early 20s wearing a gray tracksuit. He was last seen fleeing on foot. Old Navy has apologized to a customer after she made an allegation of a racial profiling incident after a confrontation with a store employee at the Square One location on Monday.
Arrest? Did you guys see me?
I just need to see the receipt.
No.
I'll be done.
No.
Ma'am.
Don't. Hey, let go off of me.
Lisa Calderon claims she was followed and later held against her will by the store employee who grabbed onto her arm and refused to let go. According to Calderon, they accused her of stealing a $13 shirt. Calderon took to social media to express her outrage in a series of posts. The store manager can also be seen apologizing to Calderon for the inappropriate grabbing. The employee has since been fired. Seneca students who spend a lot of time on their phones, and let's face it, who doesn't, have good news coming their way. Here's Ahmed Shams with more on the big tech story. Stock shares for the social media giant Twitter have taken a tumble. The company dropped 4.3 to $35.87 a share on Thursday. The decline comes after media analyst Michael Nathanson criticized Twitter for what they say is a lack of spending on web security. And here's some good news for all parents. Ontario parents and advocates are celebrating a $20 million increase in provincial childcare. The funding bump of $20 million was included in the revised childcare allocations released this week. This is after Premier Doug Ford made a decision to slash the budget for public health, childcare, and ambulatory services last May. A spokeswoman for Ministry of Education said that the $20 million increase is related to factors including free subsidies and wage grants for childcare workers. This week's revised provincial funding shows Toronto will be receiving an increase of $345,000 for a total of $461 million for childcare. This can be a step in the right direction for Premier Doug Ford after a new survey that came out has revealed he's one of the least popular premiers in the country. At 29% approval, Ford is second last ahead of only Nova Scotia's Premier Stephen McNeil. At this time last year, Ford's approval was around 40%. This recent figure is a 5% drop since March.